Hey, World Entertainment, and of course, the absolute train wreck that is Supergirl continues to roll on, and the cope has begun, because right on schedule, we get the headlines that say, New York Times blames misogyny after Supergirl crashes at the box office. That's right, good old-fashioned misogyny is why the movie has tanked, because men didn't show up. Neglecting the fact that women didn't show up for this shit either. Weird that, isn't it? Really weird. But when you keep getting told, hey, it's okay if it's not for men and it's not targeted for men and stuff, because, hey, as long as we're pissing off the right people, we're doing okay. Now, how's that box office doing for you, is there? Yeah, it's not doing great, is it? Now, let's take a look at this article, because it's like clockwork. It truly is like clockwork. These movies tank and they immediately blame the audience. I'm just surprised they haven't blamed COVID yet. So, it says, if you read the reviews of Supergirl, critics point to many issues that could have contributed to the latest DC film flopping at the box office. A bad script, weak villains, drab visuals, etc. have all been put on blast. But the New York Times has decided there's an easier explanation for the failure of Supergirl: misogyny. Yes, it's time for that old familiar tone once again. Supergirl opened to a disappointing 38 million. It didn't. It went down to 37 million domestically. Well below already muted industry expectations, prompting DC Studios co-chair Peter Safran to publicly acknowledge that the film failed to meet the studio's box office goals. Well, no shit, Sherlock. But while DC Studios is attempting to explain away that disappointment debut as one setback in a broader long-term strategy, the New York Times has offered a different explanation, suggesting that misogyny among superhero fans may have been partly responsible for the weak performance of Supergirl and all female-led superhero movies. Really? All female-led superhero movies fail because of misogyny. That's really interesting. When, oh look, Wonder Woman, $822.9 million at the worldwide box office, with an opening weekend of $103.2 million. That's right, its first preview day it opened to 11 million. Then the Friday, which includes that 11 million, 38.2 million. Then the Saturday, 35.2 million. The Sunday, 29.7 million. And yet, it only dropped 43% from week 1 to week 2. And yet, we're being told misogyny makes all these movies fail. Which is also really strange when we go to the numbers. Oh look! Critics at the time gave Wonder Woman a 93%, whereas with the audience, they gave it an 83%. Seems like everybody pretty much widely accepted and loved Wonder Woman. Same can't be said for Supergirl, can it? When the critics are the ones who gave it a 54 rotten, while the audience sits at 76%, which, by the way, half of this is probably bots because the number has not changed at all. But misogyny is the old familiar go-to right here, right now with this movie again. It is insane that they keep trying to tell us that misogyny is why these movies fail. Again, neglecting the fact that where the women? Why didn't women show up to see this movie? Because without the women, you're gonna expect all the men to show up. The majority of the audience was men. The comic books of Supergirl, the majority who buy them, the highest number, were men, not women. But you made this movie and you targeted specifically to women. You kept telling us, hey, it's a movie that tells young girls, hey, it's okay to be messy. Millie Alcock even sat there on the red carpet and said she hopes and prays for all the young women to go out and see this movie. Instead of saying, I hope everybody goes out to see the movie, she specifically said young girls to go out and see the movie. And now the movie has tanked. It's absolutely bombing. And New York Times wants to run with misogyny is to blame. Are you shitting me right now? And to say misogyny causes all these female-led movies to fail. Never mind DC, what about Marvel's end of things? Because if I remember correctly, Captain Marvel made over $1 billion. Now granted, that was because it was put in between the two biggest movies of all time, being Infinity War and Endgame. Now, you'll hear John Campea always fire back, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out in between those and it didn't. But nobody told you that you had to go and see Ant-Man and the Wasp. The way they did tell you, hey, Captain Marvel is going to be the next leader of the Avengers. Her movie is essential viewing to going into Endgame. So everybody rushed out to see it, and by the end went, you didn't need to see this movie at all to go and see Endgame. So this idea that every single female-led movie fails is bullshit. You know what does fail though? Every single dogshit movie fails. The one where you're just shoveling down the Mary Sue into our face, where it's like, hey, this girl can't be beaten at all, doesn't really have an arc, she's just great from the word go. That's where the audience rejects it. And then you're just writing the female character as basically a male character. It's so frustrating, and you know, everybody's tired of it, including women, because again, where were the women? Again, we said this before, but more women went to see Rambo Last Blood than went to see the Charlie's Angels remake. That's an actual fact. That is known. And yet they keep trying to push this thing off. Well, men hate women. Men hate all these. But even the shills who've been defending this movie to their detriment at this stage are like saying, yeah, it's a bad movie. Angry Joe has gone out there again and had another meltdown because he's lost the plot on Twitter to start with. He's like the quartering at this stage. It's just like, put the bottle down, dude, and get the hell off social media. But he went back to watch the movie again and came out hating it even more. This is the movie where he begged his audience before it came out to go and see it, to help him out. You remember that? Go see the movie. Help your boy out. Help him. And it's like, how does people seeing a Warner Brothers DC movie help you out? It was weird. But then he saw the movie and hated it, and then he went to see it a second time and hated it even more. But we're still being targeted as being misogynist and stuff, even from the likes of Angry Joe. And you have all these dumb little dipshits out there now going, oh, you're just all incels and all this crap. It's like, wow, you know how to hurt us so bad. Oh no, what are we ever going to do? How are we ever going to survive seeing John Roca, the fucking outlaw, sitting there constantly talking about guys' balls dropping and melting away and stuff? It's like, he's got a weird fixation on dudes' genitals. It's kind of like telling on yourself there, buddy. My good God, does he have this insane take where, yeah, misogyny, yeah, men just hate these women, they're all incels, they're all this, they're all that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you walked out hating these movies. What are you talking about? And like, why should anyone listen to you? You're full of shit anyway. I'll never forget seeing his interview with The Rock for Baywatch, for Collider, where The Rock said to him, to his face, like, hey, what you think of the movie? Like, and he was praising it. He's like, oh my god, I had such a fun time with it and stuff. And then when it went back to him in his studio, what was he saying? Oh, the movie's god awful. It's like, it's weird. You didn't say that in your interview with The Rock, but you had no problem saying it otherwise, so why should anyone believe you? It's almost like you said what they wanted to hear because you got invited to the premiere. But he just keeps going, and his guests on his stupid little show are just like, fuck me. You have this other guy having an absolute hissy fit going after Nerdrotic all of a sudden. Seems to be the go-to thing now to try and get your name out there is attack Nerdrotic, where he's calling him an incel and hopes he never, ever in his life feels the embrace of a loved one and shit like this. Like, you know Gary's married with kids, don't you? You stupid fuck. These people are calling all of us misogynists, saying that we're going after Millie Alcock's looks. No one's gone after her looks. The only time people bring up the looks is to say she was done dirty by the editors of Supergirl. Because that is what's happened. They're all the same people. John Roca and all these other, the what's he called? The Chud Slayer or some shit. You see all these idiots on Mr. Grizzy's channel, where he's like, you know, he's a little way too obsessed with Millie Alcock, but he's out there saying like there was people going to the cinemas actively outside telling families to boycott Supergirl stuff. They've lost their goddamn minds, called all of us misogynists, all this sexist, everything, homophobes, and yet they've all turned around and hated the movie as well. It's really weird. Except, of course, the usual suspects who love getting their access. You know, the dickheads who got invited to the movie set of Supergirl. And the likes of that little dickhead, Coy, something or other. I think his name was Corey. It turns out it's Coy. Someone named their child Coy. They must really love fish. But he's sitting there going, well, you know, they're always going to call me a shill. So, you fucking work for DC, you dickhead. He literally works for them. He's even said it. I work for James Gunn's DCU. It's like, oh wow, yeah, you're really giving us your honest fucking opinion. Jesus Christ. But New York Times, right on schedule, has come out with, hey, this movie's failing because misogyny. Okay. Let me know what you guys think though. Is it misogyny? And if so, my god, is there a lot of misogynistic women. Welcome to the club, I guess. Let me know what you think about it all. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, and share, and subscribe, and hit that like button, and all that good stuff. Cheers! I'll catch you in the next one.